Alrighty, hello everyone. I'm so sorry I am late. We obviously had technical difficulties. Um, it was weird. I set up the event on Facebook and then I just had to set it up all over again. I don't know, it's weird. But anyway, we are here. We are live on Facebook. Thank you so much for joining me. Um, Today we are talking about techniques for memorizing common vocabulary. Uh, Unfortunately, the student who won this free class is not going to be able to make it, and that's okay. That doesn't mean that you guys don't get your free live class as well. Um, but he wanted to just kind of go over how to memorize common vocabulary words. It's kind of hard sometimes to just read a word and read a word or a list of words. And so today I'm going to go over some techniques, some tips, some tricks to, to just memorize some just common vocabulary words. You do have just me today, which means I'm basically just talking at you, which means I am expecting full comment participation. Um, so if you are watching me now on the Facebook Live, say hello in the chat. Tell me where you're from. What time is it for you? For me, it's 8:10 in the morning. Um, yeah, let's just get started. Let's do it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and present to you this way. Alrighty, so I'll make my video a little bit bigger so you can see me as well. Um, so first of all, I want to start off with a little background information, right? And believe me, even as I was researching um, the techniques to obviously to show to you all and to help you all today, I I really got carried away with somewhat the background information of just like how to memorize. Um, Memorizing and learning new words, especially when we're learning a new language, it's not just write them all down on a list and then memorize that list, right? Like I ended up learning how memory works a little bit, and so I thought I would share that with you today. So, the different types of memories are immediate memory, working memory, and permanent memory. So, some people would call working memory short term memory, but let's go into them a little bit more. So, immediate memories are the extremely short term memories. These are literally milliseconds long. These are the memories where, for example, I have down here, if you are on your way to the grocery store, right? Our eyes are literally seeing everything, even if our brain is not necessarily storing that information. So, for example, let's say you go to the grocery store, and on the way to the grocery store, we see just random things. I don't know, a red car, a lady with blue hair, um, a dog, and then a cat. I don't know. I'm just thinking of things, but um, our brain is thinking, oh, that red car's not important, or that lady with blue hair is not important, the dog and the cat are not important. So even though our eyes see it, it's in the moment we see it and then it's gone because it's not important. It's irrelevant to our purpose, which is going to the grocery store. Those are the immediate memories. Basically, these are forgettable memories because we can forget them, right? Mia Tet and good Karina. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. What time is it for you guys? For you ladies. Mia Tet, I remember you from well, both of you, Mia Tet and Karina, from our speaking practices. It's great. I'm happy that I'm not here just talking by myself. But yeah, tell me, where are you ladies from and what time is it for you guys? And then also, obviously, if you have any questions, let me know. All right. All right, let's go on to the working memories. The working memories are also known as short term memories. These are memories that we store in our brain, so that we keep in our brain for a specific purpose. So there's a real, um, there's a specific reason that we need these memories, right? And what ends up happening is that once that purpose is fulfilled, so once we have achieved that goal or that reason that we needed that memory for, we no longer need it, and then it becomes immediate memory or forgettable, right? We just forget it. So, an example of a working memory or a short term memory would be say, for example, you're reading a book and you're reading, da da da, change the page, but then you think, oh, I want to go get a snack. And so obviously maybe you have a bookmark, yeah, so a little piece of paper, a leaf, anything, and you can put that in there, you close the book and you set it aside. But for the purpose of this example, you have your book, you look down at the page and you think, I'm on page 101. You close it and you set it aside. You go get your snack. Your short term memory is thinking, I need to remember page 101 in order to go back to the book and open that book and start at the same spot where I stopped. So you go get your snack, you come back, you open the page at 101, and you start reading. As you start reading and you continue reading, you eventually, your brain says, oh, we don't need to remember page 101 anymore. We're already on page 102 and 103. So then our brain goes, no longer short term memory. Let's put it in the immediate memory and forget about it. We don't need to remember page 101 because we've already passed it. Yeah. So this is kind of how working memory or short term memories work. And when we start learning a new language, it kind of goes into short-term memory first, obviously, because we say we're learning a new list of, I don't know, colors, let's just say we're learning a new list of colors, and we are learning, I don't know, let's go with like blue, red, green, yellow. And so blue, red, green, yellow, blue, red, green, yellow, and we look at that list and we remember it and it's in our memory, but then we go off and do other things and we no longer need that list, right? We no longer need those words. So then we just go off and start doing other things, and then we try to come back to it. What were those colors that I was learning? We no longer needed to remember those colors, so therefore they became immediate memories. It's kind of the same way. So we're going to talk about some tips and tricks to remembering those words and going from short-term memory to long-term memory or permanent memories. The permanent memories, though, these are exactly what the name says. They're permanent, they're long-term, they are stored in our brain for a really long time. And it's funny because researchers and scientists who study, memory, no one can really agree on how long-term memory is. So it could be an hour, it could be your whole lifetime. But everyone does agree that an example of something we remember long term is our full name. So knowing your full name, because you know it for your whole life, that is an example of a long-term memory or a permanent memory. Basically, the act of memorizing is giving a piece of information brain neurons. So the little cells that are in our brain. So the more brain neurons that a piece of information has, the more the brain is going to think and realize, oh, this is important. So the same thing when you're reading red, blue, green, yellow, it's not only hearing the words, it's seeing the words, and then you read that list one day, the next day you see it again, okay, blue, red, green, yellow, and then the following day you create a sentence with red, and the following day you create a sentence with each other color. So then you're putting more context to those words, and therefore your brain is starting to attach more brain neurons or more cells, and is obviously starting to think, oh, these colors are important, these words, these random syllables are important, and we should remember them. Yeah. Anyway, that is a little bit about memories. Karina from San Diego, nice. Here's me at 9 p.m. Thank you for watching. Thank you so much. Sohang, good evening from Bangladesh. Oh, that's so cool. Sohang, you are in my live class right now. I am on Zoom because I am presenting. But if anyone, not just you, Sohang, if anyone has any questions, go ahead and write them down in the comments and please interact with me so that I'm not just talking to myself. Yeah. What do you think about these memories, though? Is this something new to you? Is this something that you've heard before, the different types of memory that we have? Let me know in the comments below. Or on the side, I guess, because I have them on the side. Yeah. Yeah, if ever you have any questions, let me know. As you can see, I have the comments right on my screen so that we can, interact and we can talk. Alrighty. While you are typing your questions, let me go on to the forgetting curve. Karina, you've never heard of them. I know, it's interesting, right? I had heard of them a little bit when, like way a long time ago. I think I studied the brain in like a high school class or something. But for this class, I did some research and I realized memory, why is it so hard to remember new vocabulary words, right? Like, why are my students having such a hard time or having so much trouble remembering and learning new words? Well, there you go. We got to take them from the short term memory into the long term memory. Yeah, Mietet? Very good. Alrighty, so the forgetting curve. So this is something else that was interesting that I found that I really want to share with you. So kind of like what I was just saying, with Karina, have you noticed that you tend to forget things after some time if you don't actively try to memorize them or try to remember them? Like, again, that list of colors, red, blue, green, yellow. For some reason, I'm remembering it. I don't know if you've noticed. You can rewind this video. I'm remembering this list of colors in the same exact order. Tell me why. I don't know. But we'll go over the tips in a little bit, as you can see. But so what I learned in doing my research, there is a famous hypothesis by Hermann Ebbinghaus. I want to say he was German. I don't remember correctly, but he tried to explain why we forget things. There's a whole formula. There's a graph. There's a like a math equation to it and everything. If you want to learn more about it, just search Memory, a Contribution to Experimental Psychology by Hermann Ebbinghaus. You can just search for it and learn more about it. But basically, Hermann tried to memorize nonsense syllables. So essentially new words. If you think about it, when we're learning new words, they're just weird, different sounds put together until we start recognizing it as a new word. So he calculated his retention rate of those new words. So he tried to calculate how well and for how long he could remember those words. He found out that when a person is first memorizing and learning new words, the retention rate is high. So he's able to remember those words almost at 100%, right? But as time kept passing on, so after a day, after a week, after a couple weeks, after a month, and later on, he noticed and he learned that after 30 days, so day one, he was remembering red, blue, green, yellow at 100%. He knew it. Red, blue, green, yellow, red, blue, green, yellow. But then 30 days later, he could only remember yellow, for example. So after 30 days, we are only able to retain and remember information at 21% of the material that we covered 30 days ago. Isn't that crazy? This is exactly why this kind of explains how we forget things. So he learned that with the power of repetition, we can learn and relearn and relearn and relearn the same topic again and again and again and again and again. Basically, what we're doing is exactly what I explained earlier. We are telling our brain that red, blue, green, yellow is important. So we see it on day one. On day two, we see that list again. On day three, we're seeing that list again, but now we're seeing it in sentences. On day four, maybe different sentences. So again, we're just basically forcing our brain to recognize these words and like mark them down in the brain as important. Have you seen that video? That not that YouTube video, the movie. I forget the name, but it's about the emotions and the different little characters are different colors based on their emotion that they represent. So then when like happy, I think it was a girl, when she gets on the control remote of the brain, the person that she's controlling is happy. But then when sad, I think sad was like a little blue girl, I think, because she was sad all the time. But then when she gets on the brain remote control, the person that they are inside, they are in the brain basically. The person is sad. So this is kind of that like that. We are basically forcing our brain to say, oh wait, that we know that word, we know that word, we know that word. Oh, we've seen that word before. And, oh, we use that word over there, remember? And so we're starting to, connect the dots here, essentially. Um, so exactly, more exposure equals quicker memorization. Um, the more we expose ourselves to the word, so in the examples I'm giving is looking at the word, putting it in a sentence, maybe attaching a picture or an image to it. Um, that basically is going to help us memorize the words more. So it's not only reading red, blue, green, yellow. It's reading the words, it's saying them out loud, yeah, so that we can listen to ourselves saying them. It's also imagining the color, right? Putting a picture or an image to those words, and then using them in a sentence, and then maybe using them in a story, using them as much as possible. Okay. Yeah, okay, yeah, you get it. Do you guys have any questions? Let me know in the chat, of course. Um, okay, let's go on. Let's go into the many, 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 many techniques for memorizing new words or just really memorizing anything. The truth is, there are many, many techniques. And honestly, you kind of just have to find um, your own way that works for you. But here's a whole long list, so I'm just gonna zoom right through it, and then I really do want to go over 4 main ones that I think are super important. Um, so keeping an organized notebook for new words. So if you have a notebook, maybe writing the new word, writing its definition, and then also writing an example sentence. You see how you're using the word many times? So, and then again, in the definition, not just writing, uh, for example, if you've got the word black, I don't know. If you've got the word black, you don't just write in the definition the color of my hair tie. You would use it in a sentence as the definition. Black is the color of my hair tie. I don't know if that makes sense. Hair ties are a little bit weird and colors are a little bit weird. Animals, let's see. A dolphin. So you've got dolphin as your vocabulary word. Your definition, include the word in there. So a dolphin is a sea animal. Something, something, however else you want to do it. And then your example. The dolphin we saw at SeaWorld was beautiful. I don't know. Something like that. But again, using it, right? Um, the second way, or another way, is to constantly look at the words. And that's exactly what I've been talking about this whole time. So I won't go into that too much. Another way is reading, reading, reading. The more times you see a word, yeah, the more easily you'll remember it. That's not to say that you're reading like a children's book and it's going to have the same words in it again and again and again. Reading is a great way, and it's honestly the one of the only ways, or one of the main ways, that I tell my students to learn new vocabulary. It's by reading. When you're reading, you read out loud, and I'll go over that in a second. You read out loud to yourself, and then whenever you come across a word that you don't know, that you don't understand, that you've never heard before, you've never seen before, you can stop, obviously, look for that word in the dictionary, find the definition, go to your notebook of vocabulary, Write down the new term, write down the definition, try to understand the context, create a sentence. Reading is, um, I, I just can't say it any other way. I think it's the most important way to learn new vocabulary. Anyway, um, the another way is using the new words. Again, literally everything I've been talking about all day, all these last 20 minutes, using the new words. So some people actually say that you should use a word about 10 times before you start remembering it. But some people say you need to use it 30 times before you remember it. Honestly, however many times you need to use it for you, just make sure you start using it and put it in context. Yeah, so put sentences around that word, put images around that word, say the word in conversation. Maybe have a little, this is 1,000 places to visit, so these are places, but maybe you have a little calendar with like a new word of the day. So then you get your calendar, you have your new word every day, and you make it your goal to use that word in that day as many times as possible. Just use it. Next way, this is a little bit more of a fun way to learn vocabulary, is by doing word puzzles or just like games with words. Crosswords, anagrams, word searches. These are all pretty good to, obviously find new words. There's a whole lot of apps as well on our phones, and I have some apps where I just are doing the same thing. I'm looking for new words and trying to learn new words. Um, Obviously, when you're playing a game, maybe you don't want to stop and write them down in your notebook and, um, and like stop the game and stop the fun, basically. But, it's kind of up to you. And again, these are all just suggestions. These are all just ways to memorize, and you got to find your own way. Yeah. Again, some people use word cards or flashcards. So where on one side of the card you have the word, your new vocabulary word, and on the other side you have the definition, maybe an example sentence as well. And so basically you just have an index of cards where you flip it, you have the next word, you know what that word is. Next word, you say the definition or whatever it might be. I find that the flashcards or word cards work better when you're learning with a friend. Um, I mean, maybe at first, yeah, so you learn them on your own, but maybe once you think you've learned most of them, or you're pretty close to knowing all of your flashcard words, um, getting a friend to test you or to quiz you, where your friend sees the words and she or he says the word, and you got to give them the example sentence, or you got to give them the definition, or reverse. Maybe they say this is the definition, you got to say the word. Yeah, so for flashcards, I find that it works best with someone else. Um, but some people learn really well by themselves with just the flashcards. Um, Another really important tip I would say is to learn a few words at a time. Do not try to just overload your brain with, I'm going to learn this list of 100 words. Don't worry about that. Honestly, a lot of people say that in my research, I don't know why I'm so excited. I did research yesterday. But I did. I did research for this class and it was nice. But yeah, so I found that some people say that about 8 new words a day is a good number. Again, this depends on you. If you feel like you can learn 10 new words in one day, go for it. If you can only learn 1 or 2 words with your word of the day calendar, then hey, go for it. The goal is to just learn new words. Um, I also found that you could use a word map. This is a little bit weird to explain, but imagine you have your word. For example, we're learning weather, right? We're learning weather terms. So we would have in the middle of, like, imagine your page, we would have in the middle weather, and then we have a tree branch, and that one connects to hot or summer, for example. And then summer then connects to hot, humid, sun, park, beach, weather type words. That's not really weather, but you get what I mean. And then you have weather again in the middle, right? Connected to summer, and then you've got it connected to winter, and then you've got winter words connected to that, and then you've got fall or autumn and spring, and so you get where I'm going with this. That's a word map. So that is more of a visual learning where you literally see where everything is and how everything is connected. Again, remember connecting the brain neurons. So if you can see how words are connected to other words, then it's almost like, for example, sun is stealing a little bit of importance from summer, but summer was already stealing a little bit of importance from weather. Yeah, that I don't know if that makes sense, but you get it. A word map. Again, like I was just saying, learning related words together. Do not. This basically means that to not try to learn house, red, summer, blanket. If you're like, I'm gonna learn 4 words, and you decide to learn those 4 words, they have nothing to do with each other, and so it's a little bit harder to remember those words. Instead, if you try to learn red, blue, green, yellow, those are all colors. Remember those colors first. If you try to remember, again with the weather, winter, summer, spring, fall, those are all seasons. Those lists. Um, one of the other, what is this? One of the other tips that I found for memorizing words is to study compound words. So compound words are actually words in the English language that are made up of 2 smaller words. Usually it's 2, sometimes there's 3. So sometimes there's 3 small words that make up 1 long word. One example, well, I'll go over it actually. I'll go over it in the compound section down here. But yeah, so these are all just a bunch of different tips and tricks that we can that might help to learn new vocabulary words. You just kind of have to find your own, honestly, your own way. So let's go over reading and listening. Any comments, questions? Nothing. We're good. Interesting. Good. I'm glad you are finding it interesting, Karina. I love it. Yeah, so if you're watching, remember questions, comments in the comment section, of course, in the chat. Oh, with Karina, I was told to start memorizing 1 word first, then 1 and 2, then 1, 2, and 3. Keep adding 1 by 1. Yeah, exactly. That works. If that works for you, go for it. Yeah, it's kind of like what we talked about earlier. Don't go and try to memorize 500 words in one day. That's just kind of ridiculous, right? So if it helps you and it works for you to memorize 1 word or 2 words in one day, and then maybe the next day you try to learn, like you remember word 1 and 2 from day 1, but then you add word 3, then that works. And then maybe day 3, you can again remember words 1 and 2 from day 1, remember word 3 from day 2, and then add a word number 4. You can kind of do that as well if that works for you. There's really no right or wrong way to memorize and learn new words, honestly. I can just give you information, and you just kind of have to find your way that works best for you. Yeah. Okay, reading and listening. So I have a lot of students in my private classes that ask, teacher, how can I memorize new words? How can I improve my vocabulary? And honestly, the main thing I say usually most of the time is read. Just read and read and read, but read actively. So exactly how I said before, read to actually remember and learn the new words. So like I said before, you're reading. If you find a word that you've never seen that is new to you, stop, write it down in that notebook. Or even if you don't have a notebook, maybe you don't need one. Who knows, right? But just write it down somewhere, because now you're putting your 5 senses to that word. So you're seeing the new word, you're reading the new word, so you're saying it out loud, and then you're writing it down, yeah? And then look it up in the dictionary, put it into an example sentence. So you're basically just attaching more brain neurons, more brain cells to this word. Is really all it is. So, okay. Um, I kind of went through most of this as I was just kind of talking, but basically, so, for example, if you are, how do you actually apply reading out loud or reading and listening? Um, you could do it yourself, where you just grab a book and you start reading the pages of the book, and then you're reading them out loud. So you're hearing yourself read the words. Um, or you could do, for example, if you're watching a movie in English, you could have English subtitles. Now, with this one, I'm a little bit, it depends on your goal. So, if you are trying to learn new vocabulary, great. Speaking in English, the movie in English, reading in English, right? Subtitles. If you are only working on your listening, right, to try to understand English, I would say no subtitles at all, not even in your native language. But if you want to learn vocabulary or you have trouble understanding, because sometimes native speakers, we speak very, very, very fast. We speak very fast, and so it's hard to understand. I know, um, and so depends on your goal, right? But like I said, if you want to learn new vocabulary and you really want to pay attention to the language in the movie, go for it. This isn't only for movies. Anything that you can see, um, a YouTube video, a TV show online where you can put subtitles, anything like that. So not only are you seeing the words, you're also listening to them. So then again, that's two brain neurons working. Hey, right? Instead of just one, two is better than one right now. Um, Another example would be to read a podcast transcript while we're listening to it. I'm not sure if you know what a podcast is. It's basically like a radio show, kind of. So it's listening to the person with their accent. So now we're not only with the movies as well, right? Now we're not only just listening randomly, we're also listening to the pronunciation. We're looking at the spelling of the word. Yeah. So if you do this on your own, if you're just reading a book or an article or something online, anything on your own, that's okay too. The only thing is that you might run the risk of not catching the pronunciation because you're listening to yourself say the word, right? So, but when you listen to a movie in English with um, British actors speaking British English, you're not only going to get the English, the British English, but you're also going to get the British accent as well. And of course, whatever accent you want to learn and practice, that's completely up to you. But reading while listening is of the is of the utmost importance. The next big tip or trick that I strongly suggest, and again, I've been using it, um, or not using it, because I read the word using. I've been talking about it this whole time, is using your new words in context. So just start using the words, right? Honestly, even if you learn a new word this morning and this afternoon you're starting to forget the word, but you want to use it anyway. Yeah, even if you use it wrong and someone hears you, hopefully they will correct you and they will say, hey, that word, no, we don't use it like that. That word means blah, 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 so we have to use it like this. It's okay. At least you're using the word. So you start remembering the word a little bit more. Um, like I said before, some people say, some researchers and scientists say that you should look at the word or see a new word 10 times, and some people say 30 times. Again, honestly, just use it. Just use the new words. Sorry, I got a little excited there. Um, I do want to point out that there are a lot of words in English that have more than one meaning. I'm sure you know that. I'm sure you do. So how do you know what word to use, right? Or how or when to use that word? It's all context. Context, I tell you. If you are reading a paragraph and you see that word and you think, oh, I know what that word means, but that doesn't make sense. in the sentence because you understand that whole paragraph, right? Or that little story or that sentence. It's context, is what that is. It's understanding not just the individual one word and its meaning, it's understanding the sentence. What does the sentence, with all of those individual words put together, what does the sentence mean? And then what does the paragraph mean? And then what does the story mean, or the book, or the, you get it. You get it. Okay. Gokarna, namaste from Nepal. Welcome, my friend, of course. Good morning. Ay, Hoche? Joche? Hoche. I'm going to say Hoche. So, is that right? Am I saying your name right? Pinpon? Can I just call you Pinpon? I don't know. Tell me if I'm saying, if Hoche is your name. Okay. Let me know. I'll read it in the comments. So, let's do a little bit of practice. So, this is where I need all of you to just bam, bam, get your fingers ready. If you type like this, that's okay. If you type like this, that's okay. If you're typing like this on your phone, that's okay. Here we go. We're going to practice a little bit of British English vocabulary, right? So, we're not going to go over all of these. You're going to have to buy this course if you want to practice the rest of them. But you use this to carry bank cards and paper money. So, is it A, rucksack? Is it B, briefcase? Or is it C, wallet? And I say this is British English because we don't say rucksack in American English. And I'm not going to tell you what we say because if you know American English, you might figure out the answer to one of the questions where the answer is rucksack. So I'm not going to tell you. But anyway, Sumaita, hello. Hi. And Karina says wallet. Anyone else? Anyone else? Let's see. Let's see. I know this might be a little slow with the commenting and Facebook. I don't know, but we'll see. Let's see if we get someone else. While you are typing your answer, I'm going to charge my phone. I'm going to charge my laptop. Aha! There we go. All right. Okay. No more guesses. That's okay. Wallet. Dun, dun, dun. Nicely done. Very good. Next one. Let's see if you guys can get this. You need these to open the door to your house. Is it A, contact lenses, keys, B, keys, C, landline? And again, these are just new words, right? New vocabulary words. So if you don't know what these mean, that's okay. No problem. You're learning. Let's see. What do you need in order to open the door to your house? And I kind of want to make the hand gesture. Well, I guess you can go like this. I could do that. I don't know if you guys understand that. I don't know. Sumaita from Bangladesh. Nice. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm so happy to see you in my chat, of course. Karina says keys. Sumaita, what do you think? What is the correct answer to this question? You need these to open the door to your house. Not just Sumaita, anyone. Anyone. What do we think is the correct answer? 3, 2, 1. All right, Karina says keys. Let's see. Sumaita, keys. Nice, very good. So you guys are kind of understanding where I'm going with this, right? Let's do one more. Some people wear these on their face to help them see. So is it A, glasses, B, rucksack, or C, ticket? What do we think? What do we think? What do we think? All right, I've got a glasses. Anyone else? Any other guesses? What do we think? What do we wear on our face so that we can see? It's a little bit easy and like I'm kind of telling you as I'm wearing them on my face. So you have an image to put to this new vocabulary word. I got glasses. Let's see. Very good. Glasses. So anyway, there are 7 more of these. You can go over them on your own. I will let you know later. But exactly this. So using the new words in context, right? Um, learning new words together. By learning new words that are connected somehow, your brain will obviously make those connections and will store the information quicker. We talked about this. Um, so again, if you try to learn just random words at the same time, like you sit down and you just try to learn random words, your brain is going to try to make some connection and then not find the connection and then be like, oh, this is not really important, never mind. And then it's going to go into the immediate memories that we talked about earlier. We're trying to take all of these vocabulary words and these new terms that we're learning into the long-term memory, right? So the way to do this would be to put them into context, obviously use the words, but then not just any random words. Choose a topic and learn those words only for a week, however long it works for you. So the example that I've got here is that if you were trying to learn about geography, say you're trying to learn about the landscape of your city or your country, and you say, I need to learn geography words, you might find all of these words. You might find more, you might find less. That's okay. I just chose these 12. But you might just find these words. So these are all connected in that they are about the geography of a place. So they describe what is in a place. Are there mountains in your country, in your city? Are there plateaus? So like a mountain, but then it's flat on top. So yeah, you get the point. Now, let's see if we can do this with containers. This is going to be a little bit tricky, I know, but it's okay. We're practicing. So with containers, you find, again, I need to see your answers in the chat because I'm here alone talking to myself and I need to see some interaction, right? So you can find butter or ice cream in one of these. Is it tub, tin, bottle, jar, tube, can, packet, jug, carton, or box? Whew, these are all different types of containers. These are all different things that you can store stuff in, that you can put things in. In this case, I'm asking you, what kind of container can you put butter or ice cream inside? What is that? I'm doing it right now. What is that container called? I've got a jar, okay? Okay. Anyone else? Let's see. Remember, I'm by myself here. I need some interaction. Otherwise, I'm just talking to my camera. Anyone else? There's no wrong there is a wrong answer, but it's still understood. Let's see. You can find butter or ice cream in a tub, tin, bottle, jar, tube, can, packet, jug, carton, or a box. Where do we find ice cream? Or butter? Ooh, in a box. All right, we've got jar and we've got box. Let's see which one is right. Oh, I guess I gotta choose one, right? All right, let's go with the first one that we found, that we were given. So jar, an ice cream jar, a butter jar. It's a tub. Have you ever heard the expression tub of ice cream? Yeah, it's a tub of ice cream. I can't really tell you why. That's just what it is. Man, that's just what it's called. It's like saying, what are these called? They're scissors. Why are they scissors? Well, that's just the name of this thing. They're scissors. Same thing. That's not to say that if you say, hey, Dad, can you give me that bottle of ice cream? Dad might be like, you mean the tub of ice cream? He'll still understand what you mean, but that's not what it's called. Yeah, new vocabulary words. Anyway, box cocarna. Good guess, good guess. We are learning that it is a tub of ice cream or a tub of butter. Let's do one more. You can find cold drinks in one of these, and it is made of metal. That is a very big hint right there. So, can you find a cold drink in a Tub, tin, bottle, jar, tube, can, packet, jug, carton, or in a box. Do you drink a tub of cola? Do you drink a tin of apple juice? I don't know. Packets. Let's see, let's see. What are we thinking? Dun 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 bum bum bum. Well, let's see. We've got one vote for packet. A packet of what's a cold drink? A packet of Dr. Pepper. A packet of Sprite. Uh, uh. I don't know. I'm just saying. We've got carton in the chat. Okay, okay. Anyone else? Anyone else want to take a guess? I'll just give you all a second or two. I know that the chat is kind of slow to come to me sometimes, to arrive on my screen. So, I know. Da-da-da. Let's just see. Let's do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Sumaita said packet first. Sumaita also said tube. All right, we're going with the first guess that we got. A packet of a cold drink. And is a packet metal? No, it's a can. You know, can I get a can of cola, a can of apple juice, a cold drink, right? And cans are made of metal as well, thin metal, but they're metal. Yeah. All right, all right. So you're starting to understand what I mean, yeah? When you are learning Baro Gokarna, I just got your message. See, this is what I mean. It's slow to come to me, to get your guesses to me. But yeah, nice, nice. We're learning. That's all. That's what this is all about. So yeah, so learning new words together. Yeah. So again, these were all container words. So learn the difference between the container words. What do you use for each type of container? Okay. Next up, we've got compound words, and this is the last super tip that I've got for you. Is to study compound words. So like I said, a lot of English words are actually compound words. So basically 2, maybe 3 smaller words put together to make one big word. For example, hello, I need to stop moving. For example, I've got the word spaceship. If you think about it, spaceship is space and ship. 2 different words. But if you put it together, completely new meaning. So compound words are another big tip that I would recommend you study as you are learning new words. Sumaita says the network is slow. If it's my network, I'm sorry. I apologize. If it's yours, don't worry. I'm here. I'm here to help you out. It's all good. And this is recorded on Facebook, so obviously you can see it again. But so some other compound word examples would be newspaper, doorbell, friendship. Yeah, newspaper being news and paper. Yeah, doorbell, friendship. Right? It's not, a friend is obviously a person, and a ship is like a boat in the water. But you put a person and the boat in the water together, it becomes something totally different. So. Another little quiz, not a quiz, but just, interaction, please. Talk to me. A meat plus something. So a meat is something we can eat. Is it a meat call, a meat fall, a meat ball, or a meat haul? You can put just the compound word in the chat if you want. Nice. I got meatball in the chat. What do we all think? You guys can't see this. I can just zoom in a little bit. Hopefully that's a little better. Is it better? Ah, look at that. Hopefully, Gokarna wanted me to make the font bigger. Is this okay? Hopefully this is all right. But yeah, please, let me see. So, what is something that we can eat? A meat call, a meat fall, a meatball, or a meat haul? Meatball. Another guess from Meatball. Let's go with it. Let's see. This is my round of applause for you. Who said meatball? Good job. Dum, bum, 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 ba-dum, bum, bum. All right, what is something else that we can eat? A pan fry, a pan cake, a pan cook, or a pan eat? What do we eat? Which one of these can we actually eat? Yeah, these are the compound words, right? So pan fry, pancake, pan cook, pan eat is the compound word that is made up of two smaller words being pan fry, pan cake, pan cook, pan eat. Mm-hmm. Oh, I see. All right, we've got pancake in the chat. Nicely done. Very good, y'all. Very, very good. I love it. Good job. So we're starting to understand these compound words, right? Let's do one more. What else is something that we can eat? Pop cook, popcorn, pop tail, or pop cake. I've got popcorn in the chat. Popcorn, popcorn. Anyone else have any thoughts? Yes, popcorn. I've got 2 votes for popcorn. We're going for it. Very good, very good. Alrighty, yes. So there are tons of different compound words, of course. But yeah, I would suggest studying compound words. This is the last of the 4 tips that I've got for you. Ooh, nope, don't do that. So as you can see, reading and listening is my main suggestion for us to learn new vocabulary words. Use the new words in context, right? So in sentences, put images to them, say them as much as you can. And then obviously learn new words together. So learn words that are somehow connected, learn those together. And then jump to obviously a different type of connected words or topic of words. And then compound words. I think those are pretty pretty important. Sorry, pretty important to learn. So that is actually everything I've got for you today. Let me know though. I will stay on for a couple more minutes. Do you have any questions about what I talked about today? Do you have any questions? Questions about what I talked about today. So like I said, I was supposed to be with a student, but he couldn't make it. So this is me just still fulfilling on my promise. I know I said I was going to do a live and I didn't want to cancel because I know a lot of people count on these free classes to obviously learn. And I didn't want to cancel on everyone else, you know? So I'm glad and I'm thankful that all of you joined me and my silliness and my forgetfulness in the moment. But yeah, if you have any questions about what we covered today, go ahead and write them in the chat or in the comments. If you have any questions about English in general, I can answer those right now as well. While I'm waiting, because again, we know that this takes forever to come through. But while I'm waiting for your questions to come through, Sumaita, I'm enjoying the game like a child. That's great. Honestly, that's perfect that you say that. I'm glad that you are having a good time. My private classes, it's funny because when I teach my private classes, I am basically a child, honestly, in my classes. So I like to play a lot of games with my students, kind of like what I did with you all today. I feel like by having fun, again, we remember whatever it is that we're studying a little bit better. But I do also work with other great teachers, and I was actually hoping to get one of them on today with you, but the timing just didn't work out. And so hopefully you'll get to see them in the future. But I do also work with great teachers that if I can't take a private student for scheduling conflict or just any reason, maybe I'm just too busy with other students, I have my other teachers help you out and they give you private classes as well. And so we all just work as a team and we do the private classes. So if you're interested in continuing to practice how to memorize new words, or if you're interested in improving your grammar, improving your speaking, maybe you speak with an accent and it's hard for people to understand you when you're speaking English, hey, we can help you out with that as well. I believe you should be able to see a link in. Huh, I don't know why Facebook does this. Yeah. All right. So you should be able to see a link now. Maybe, actually, I don't know. Where it's our, I believe it's our website. Yeah, so if you need anything, you can always go to our website and check it out. Private classes, if you want to study with your friends, friends studying together, we can do that as well. Um, we do have our writing course that is out now. It's an extensive, a huge writing course where it's going to give you 5 key tips to making your writing sound better. So that's also really interesting. That, of course, is out as well, and it's on our website. So if you want to check that out, you can. And then we also have a lot of other smaller miniature courses that are going out, including this one that you saw today. So if you want to continue those quizzes that we didn't finish, or you need a little bit more explanation, you can check out this course as well. It'll be all up on the courses website. Yeah, so I'm not seeing any questions coming through except Gokana. I really enjoy your clear explain to us. I'm really grateful to you, and I'm pretty into it. I'm not sure what that last part meant, but I'm glad that you can understand the way that I explain things. That's honestly, as long as you all understand what it is I'm trying to explain, then we are good. All right, so maybe another minute or so for questions or anything like that. Thank you very much for your help on this subject. Of course, it's my pleasure. And actually, thank you to my student who brought up this topic. And this is kind of why I like to do these free Facebook Lives with students, because I could come up with topics and maybe some trouble areas that I think my students might have, but maybe that's not right, or maybe that's not true. And so I like having my student tell me I need to work on this area, because then that's something that's real. That's something that that person actually needs help with, and I can help that person with that. And most likely other students will have trouble with that area as well. And so that's why I'm loving this. So come to our free speaking practice on Mondays at 8 a.m. California time if you want to win, if you want your chance to win a free live class with me like this. That is on, I think I said it, Monday at 8 a.m. California time, or PST time. Other than that, yeah. Sumaita, where are you from? I am actually from California. I'm from San Diego, California, so super way south, right next to Mexico. I was born and raised in San Diego, as well as Tijuana, so across the border in Mexico. I was raised in both cities. I am Mexican American. So I am American by birth because I was born in the US, but I'm Mexican by ethnicity and also nationality as well. But my family is all Mexican. So I speak both English and Spanish, which therefore I can teach English and Spanish as well. Yeah. I know many people see me and they say, "Oh, you're Filipina, or you're Vietnamese, or you're some sort of Asian." And I'm like, "No, I just have chunky cheeks that make my eyes small." But no, I'm Mexican. I'm Mexican American. Alrighty, I don't see any more questions. Thank you all so much for joining me today. It was a pleasure reading you, because obviously I can't see you, but it was a pleasure seeing and reading you in my chat. I hope that I was able to help you out a little bit. I hope that you were able to take away some sort of memorization technique from today. If you have any questions, I am always available to you. All of my information is on our website and on our Facebook page. So WhatsApp, direct messages, email, Facebook, YouTube. We just started a Twitter. We just started a TikTok. Check those out as well. Links are posted everywhere. But if you liked and enjoyed today with me, make sure you like this video. Make sure you comment I love teacher Isabel. I don't know, something like that, maybe. Subscribe, obviously, follow and like and share and all of that good stuff. Thank you all so much for joining me today. It was a pleasure hanging out with you this morning. Nice to meet you, Sumaita. I hope to see you as well again. Maybe in our free speaking practice or maybe at another Facebook Live. Yeah. Alrighty, I am going to log off because I am all talked out. I will see you all soon.